A movie that you could say would be one thing, and then once you see it and it's a completely different thing, this movie is a perfect example of that. Planet of the Apes. No, not Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes. Not even the Andy Serkis Planet of the Apes. The original one, which the headliner for that one is Charlie Heston, one or the other. And this one is the original of all of them. This is where a couple of astronauts are set to start life somewhere else, and then they land in this unknown strange planet. They don't know what to think of it, and they're trying to see what is in here, who if has maybe beaten them, see if they find like little trees, and then they find water, and then eventually they encounter the apes. It doesn't matter how realistic they try to make everything. There's always going to be parts that are going to be kind of fictional in movies. Just that's just how it is. But I like how this movie really tried to make it seem like it was something that had to be taken seriously to understand what was going on. Just how the scientific methods were, and how they start by explaining how long they've been out from this expedition and where they're going to be landing now. You can find probably just flaws still, little plot holes here and there. That's just how every movie is. Not every movie's perfect, but just the way it laid the ground and how eventually they get on this planet. Just the way they made it isolated, the planet. It made it feel like it really wasn't planet Earth. It just felt like it was this surreal, strange, dystopian planet where they're not sure if humans could survive here. And I just like how they go on little by little, see little things. They plant their flag, even though it's kind of useless now at that point, but still just paying respects to others, saying that they have landed here. They're gonna make something of it. And then they see like trees, but then they hear waterfalls, and then they start realizing kind of like how this planet where they landed has been. It just felt like I was watching some kind of like Science 101 segment. Just, it really was a real science fiction movie. And with the title, it's called Planet of the Apes. You just don't expect that for this. How it's trying to lay down the whole groundwork of this. And then I like the mystery that goes around it. I like how you have them going, eventually getting to the oasis, having fun, swimming, and then you see these things out of the background coming out. You're not sure what to think of it, if they're humans, if they're apes. And eventually they figure out that these are humans, but they're like caveman humans, and it's like they're not fully developed. So they're trying to process this, like where they can probably overrule them if like they study them for a few months. They see that this is a race that could probably be owned by them, and then just the music goes around, just the way, just how it builds up, and then you hear that like there's something wrong, and then they start running, and then it's the apes who come out, and they're the ones hunting them. And to think in this like parallel universe, how we are, humans think we're the top of the food chain, but just one little thing could really change. And it's just unusual to see how another species might dominate, like the apes, and seeing them hunt down these humans and then taking photos of the bodies. And it's like, because we all know they're actors in the ape suits, which incredible makeup, seriously. It's just the way how you kind of have to take this all in, like to think, wow, like there could be a universe where apes are ruling even over humans. And really our main astronauts, they don't all make it out, really. It's just the main guy. We really get the main guy's point of view of what's going on. And then the apes use him, and they realize something's not right with him. He's not our casual type of human that's in this planet. And then he eventually leaves notes, like he says his name is Taylor. He can try to speak, he just can't because he gets shot in the neck. And it's a whole back and forth with these apes trying to prove that they are more they're more evolved than we think. And then just the battle that goes on, kind of like a Cold War, just within the apes group, and just trying to see who's right, who's wrong. And then you get these like court like dramas that a couple of apes that have taken Taylor's side and believe that he is more than what they think against the rest of the people. You could kind of see this being born, but they just did it in a way where it's very clever. It just feels something that's very thought-provoking. And then the acting, even with the apes makeup on, these are some really good acting. They could really just present this off as like side project that this shouldn't mean anything because they're all dressed up as apes. This should be kind of like a cash grab, but no, they gave what it looks like their performances. They gave it as best as they could. I really was invested with everybody, whether it's the lady ape who is caring for Taylor the most, and then also has her boyfriend, I think it's her fiance, and then later on the nephew that comes out and saves him. This little group, I cared, at least they understood, and it was a great kind of evolving relationship. Kind of, it's not really the perfect, but between Taylor and the apes, it really did feel like they were getting used to each other. And then the main one, the one that doesn't want to believe all this, which eventually reveals that he's known, so that's why he's playing with that. He just doesn't want humans to evolve. He's really good too. He's the villain is trying to protect his people. It's not really just one note. He's got layers as to why he hates humans. There are some just memorable scenes, lines as well. You know, when Taylor finally could talk and says, "Get your hands off of me, damn dirty ape!" And those are just scenes that that just made this movie memorable. There are some sequences of action that, you know, they have to chase each other throughout the villages as well, but it really all centers more of just trying to get one another to convince with just words why humans can evolve and can exist in this world. Because in this world they see it as like apes were always the dominant, so they find this really surreal, unlike us the viewers that we find it opposite. So I like seeing how just the contrast, how the parallel universes could work. There's just these tones in the background. Also, just believe what you could really believe. What is the more important route to believe, and just trying to determine who's right, who's wrong, who could be right with both. Morals, beliefs, religious thoughts, stuff like that. Honestly, I was just invested throughout. I really did care for all the apes characters. I cared for the main guy, at least trying to prove something to them, kind of stick it to them that he is a more evolved human than they think. Even though so many times they're trying to just make him like the rest, but he won't deny it. And there are entertaining just action sequences, like I said. It's just really not what is center on. For a movie that had a premise that could really go the opposite and kind of be just laughable, it really took its time. All the actors just gave it what they could, whether they're in the monkey makeup or not. And then eventually Taylor gets to reveal that this is planet Earth. It's just so many years after, so it's a really good twist for those that are seeing it for the first time. Sadly, I spoiled it here, but for those that probably still haven't seen the movie, the review in general, it's just going to be something of a shocker. It really all depends, just the waves it might age this movie. It might be eventually a little bit slow paced, or it might be plot holes around. There are things that just doesn't weigh the movie that much down, in my opinion. Depending on how you see this one and like the Caesar Planet of the Apes one, it's just kind of different how both franchises are, even though they have the same title. And I kind of respect just seeing the classics and then just seeing how this modern day version is. The best ones of all these are really some of the heavy hitters, like just good pieces of cinema. And then this one, just an incredible achievement to have, just with the visuals, just the way how it's great seeing everything being shot in location. Just adds to the authenticity of how this, unlike Planet, is like very realistic. I'm gonna have to give Planet of the Apes an A. Let me know, guys, if you've seen this movie, what did you think of it? Is this one of your favorites of all time? Where does this rank in the Planet of the Apes movies? All this in the comments below. And as always, Roland Empire, laugh, smile, repeat.